on the phone as opposed to doing it in the GoPro. So I think I might do this from now on, just for everybody's knowledge. It's a little easier. Bump you down just a hair so you can actually see. You can kind of still see the Tormek at least in front of me ever so slightly. Okay. So I was just on. I jumped off. I jumping right back on. My GoPro actually got weirdly enough it being plugged in and um going killed the battery from 100 actually fairly quickly. So just get right back to honing because yeah, I mean there's still a little bit of a burr left. It did actually do a pretty decent job, but I want to give it a little bit better an edge. And then right after this, I'll jump off just so that because I know the quality probably from my phone isn't fantastic, but it is what it is. It's nice not having the reverb of with the GoPro. It was having it go the audio to my phone, and then my phone was sending it to my earbuds. So I was hearing every like it was backing up. Yep, I'm back. Sorry, my GoPro died. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but I posted it down in the chat because my GoPro decided to die, so I'm doing it just with my phone, which not my favorite because the camera quality, but at the same time, like, what do you think camera quality was? Is it as good or what do you think? Because I like the audio quality significantly. It's a lot better for me because I'm not having to. It would be like backtracked like 30 seconds or so. So I was hearing myself talking as I was talking, and that was. I mean, I'm auditory, so it's very much so a pain. Okay, let's check that out and see what that's like. That's significantly better. I still feel it ever so slightly in the rear. That's all good. Looks, yeah. Audio is better than the last time, or about the same. But yeah, and that's part of the reason why I wasn't thrilled about using my phone is because it really shrinks down the aspect ratio. But I'll play around with that a little bit. I just wanted to pop on and make sure to answer just make sure to answer some questions if there still were some. Yo and hi, what are you doing? I am sharpening one of my knives on a Tormek T4. I just did a live, but now I'm jumping back on because my GoPro died. So I was originally using my GoPro as the camera, but it died. Hello there. Are you cook? I'm not cooking. No, I'm sharpening on a Tormek. So right now I'm honing. I'm almost done, but I might, with all these people jumping on, I might do another knife or something along those lines. We'll see. I'm doing all right. It's been raining. You guys actually just missed the downpour that it was. My last live, it was just prior to this. I got off my other one, but it was pouring, so I was very glad that I have my canopy that I sit under and do um, the work in. Air topper. Okay, I'll have to check that out because that is pretty cool. Lexi, I have made a few knives with my buddies. I personally haven't made knives, and yes, this is knife sharpening, but it's something I want to get more into. I just don't have the space quite yet to be able to do like actual like forging and that kind of stuff. But I am working on that. So if you check my channel every once in a while, I might be getting into sharpening. Well, not sharpening, but making of knives. I think we're good there. This is one of my personal knives. I've been testing around with it to see like if I like the edge or if I don't like it. I'm actually okay with that, in all honesty. I don't know what you mean. You're gonna test it a random person. Use it on random objects like cutting a steak or onions or stuff like that. So I'll show you. You can see the edge bevel's a little bit thinner, well, a little bit wider than normal. So I brought this down at 15 degrees instead of like 17 or 20 or anything along those lines, because I just wanted to see if it would cut better, and also if it could actually take the edge angle or not. Because some cheaper steels can't go down super low, and it'll feel like they're sharp, but they're not sharp. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Can you eat an apple? I don't have an apple. Sadly, I don't have an apple on me. All right. You know what? I think we're going to bring the cold steel out again because I want to reprofile that a little bit. Okay, let's turn that off. And then also, for any knife sharpeners out there, some of the compounds I enjoy using, like when I'm stropping. So right now it's the Tormek paste, but I'm also a big fan of like diamond sprays. I make my own diamond spray for putting on a felt wheel and that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then also, I don't really use the green chromium oxide, but every once in a while it's not a bad thing to use. Like it's really nice if you want to get a fine edge. I like a little bit more of a toothy edge. Hey, thank you, the master. That was a loud thump, whatever that was. Oh, just thank you for subscribing. I saw you said I subscribe. Alrighty, let's see. So we've got 2 people in here. I don't have an apple currently on me. Alrighty, let's do that one again because I want to thin that out just a little bit. Ugh. Since we had a few people jump on, might as well play around with it and. I'm going to bump this down a few degrees. I sharpened it just a little bit ago, but I want to thin it out just a hair and see if I can get some better performance out of it. Are you shouting? I'm not shouting. No, I'm in a canopy, truck canopy, so that might be part of the reason why. Okay, well, need to adjust the angle first. Is the audio loud? It could also be I've got it going through my earbuds, and that might be part of the reason why it's a little bit louder too. Okay, something like that should be fine. Currently, that's no. Oh, that would be 14. So we're going to bump that up just ever so slightly. Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay. Yeah, let's do that at 15 just for giggles. I'm going to fill up the water trough a little bit because I've knocked out most of my water. Okay. Don't want that on there. Ready? And I was getting the question earlier, do I do the plunge or do the heel? I'll do this one on the heel just to like walk you through it because it is doable. It's just not my preferred way. So about center, just a little bit past center. So center here, a little bit past it with the heel. I'm doing a bit more edge reveal. Mostly I just wanted to thin out this knife a little bit and see if it cuts a little bit better. Go back this way, starting at the heel, a little bit past center. That's the reason why I don't like doing heel, is because, like you saw, I set it down not ever so, like just ever so slightly off center. So I got more of the heel than I did flat. That's the reason why I like to do the dive bomb way. Yeah, it's mostly personal preference with whether or not you want to do the tip first or you want to do the heel first. Me, I personally like doing the tip first because it's easier just to get that like fluid motion, so if that makes sense. Let's go back to the other side. Tormek does recommend doing the heel first, but there are also guys that have been using the Tormek system for, I think, 50 years now because they just had their 50-year anniversary, I think, a few years ago. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit of a burr already, so that's kind of nice. Yeah. And this may not be the fastest system, but oh my, like, if you've messed around with the Tormek, you know just how it feels. It's kind of like doing sharpening on whetstones, but with that light hum. And it also sounds a little bit like one of those like desktop waterfalls. So it's really just soothing. Probably do a few more passes on both sides, just for giggles. I'm going to go back to dive bombing just because it's easier for me. And that might also help with, I forget who was asking about like lifting for the tip. It might get your muscle memory better there if you started with like doing the dive bombing technique because it already gets you from like up high in the shoulder to dropping down and going into the blade. Not sure if you noticed just how smooth the drop is. Are you on a family farm? No, I'm not on a family farm. It's just a house on 2.5 acres. That, yeah. A few of my friends have farms though out in the area, so that's part of the reason why I also have been wanting to get into clipper blades. Is the 4-H presence out here is really, really big. So if I got a clipper blade machine, I'd probably be able to pay it off pretty quickly. But it's a huge initial investment. From the screen to the ring. Not familiar with the song, but I'll check it out. Yeah. I mean, and that's the kind of thing is you have so not less surface area, but less to fight when you're doing the dive bomb technique as opposed to the heel trying to set it down perfectly flat. And if you're not, then adjusting it. I like the dive bomb technique just for the fact of you kind of have to flow into it. Okay. I think we're just about to the point of needing to stop now. So what I'm feeling for right now is just a light burr, and I'm feeling it just across that. If I next stream I'll bring little like Q-tips or something along those lines because you can hang them off of that burr. It's actually pretty cool to watch. So, turn that off, flip it around, and then do the honing. Take it out of this too. Do you guys have any other like knife sharpening questions? Feel free to ask them. We're using one of the diamond wheels instead of stone. Yes. So this is a CBN 600, and I mean they have CBN in all different grits, but this apparently is very, very, very similar to just the original grindstone, and I can very much so it feels a little bit different. Like I love the original grindstone, and it feels significantly better, but at the same time, this cuts significantly quicker, as well as it doesn't change shape. So it's very easy to just set the angle and go. And not have to worry about like replacing. Well, I mean, you do have to replace the CBN stones after a while, but for the most part, they last a pretty good amount of time. Like I still haven't had to buy a new. I probably won't have to buy a new CBN stone for a while, but at the same, like I will eventually. And then also that'll give me a good determination of if I want to do that or if I want to do the original grindstone, because the original grindstone, you can do serrated knives actually pretty easily on them too. But the other thing I want to get is an extension so that I can run a felt wheel, because that'll be really good for deburring. Yep. Which actually, I'll turn it off and show. It's the. Not sure if you can see that, but it's the Woodturner's Wonders 600 CBA. The only problem I had with it, with the T4, I'm not sure about the T8, but the T4 you have to put a spacer in, and they don't say that in the description, which it was just a washer. Not sharper or not? The knife sharper? Or what are you asking is sharper? Yeah. They make good stuff. I'm not a huge fan of how, like, they don't outline that you need it, but like the washer. But they make a good product. It's a really high quality. We'll see here in just a second. I decreased the angle. So I went originally at 17 and I bumped it down to 15 just to see, okay, one, if this steel could actually hold at 15. Because if not, then I can do a micro bevel at like 17 to 20, and it would be a little bit thinner just in the profile. So it will cut, not necessarily better, but it will be more, it'll have less resistance cutting, if that makes sense. But it still has a burr currently, so that's why it won't. Yeah, I'm not a loved person. I appreciate that. I've got my close group of friends, and I've been enjoying doing YouTube just to grow a knife sharpening community and/or just bring awareness of people that if they want to know what to look for with a knife sharpener or not. See, can you see my? You want to see it? It's just a cheap knife, but at the same time, like I like to experiment with some like old cheap knives just to see. Okay, like if a customer asks me, "Hey, can you do this to a certain knife that's theirs?" It's okay. Hey, I can. But if I don't feel comfortable doing it, I can talk to them and say, "Hey, what are you wanting to do with said knife?" So being able to adjust to the client specifically. A bit better. I think we're just about there. I think I got this one at Goodwill for like $3. It was really, really just a cheap knife, but it seems to hold a decent edge. So that's part of the reason why. Like, if I'm not doing clients' knives, I like to experiment with just my own knives, or like going to Goodwill, getting some more like just cheap knives and experimenting with, okay, what can I do? What can't I do? And just playing around with that. I mean, I've been sharpening for 15 years, but it's fun to be able to just play around, like not have a uh, set parameter of what you need to do. You have a VR. Okay, sweet. Are you watching this via VR? I think we're just about where we need. Let's test it and see. That's not bad. And it's very smooth all the way through. I'm okay with that. I'll do one more pass on each side just for giggles, but I like your videos. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try doing more lives just so that like I can talk with you guys and do that kind of stuff, because like I know my just normal videos, it doesn't get shown to too many people, but at the same time I want to be able to like have a good conversation with you guys. This has been good. Yeah, it's actually been pretty decent. It's been slow the last like week and a half, but other than that, not bad. I've got a barbecue competition coming up in March, and a few other event things that like I'll try and do some like long video forms for that so that you guys can like watch it and do that. But yeah, business has been good. Thank you. I think we're just about there. Let's give that a wipe down. Turn that off. I honestly, if you have a sharp water bottle, I honestly don't like doing water bottle cuts and that kind of stuff, because the edge that I do, I mean, will it cut through a water bottle? Maybe, but that's not what you're going to use the knife for every day. So what I try to cut is something that you're going to cut every day. The only reason I cut paper is so that I know it's fully deburred, and I'll show like with this, I do very slow to see, okay, do I feel any nicks? Do I feel any burrs? Is that micro edge still there, or is it not? Because I mean, in all honesty, a 15-degree edge will slice right through a water bottle. I mean, unless you really are having a hard time or the geometry of the knife is poor, it should just slice right through a water bottle. But it's kind of not really a silly test. It's more of just a showy test, and very much so a like somebody wants to blow smoke and mirrors. But I like functional. So I try like when I adjust these things, I go and do like food prep and that kind of stuff. So I can find out, okay, does it seem like it's cutting better, or is it smoother? Is it easier to use, or anything along those lines? Because like if somebody has arthritis or something along those lines, they want a more refined, well, not really refined edge, but a thinner edge profile, so that they have like they can do easier with like pressing down or cutting through something. It's not as much like held resistance when they're doing that. Do I like VR? I've done. It's been a few years since I've done anything VR wise. My buddy had one of the I forget what they were called, but one of the games, and he put me in it, and I went into a full blown like almost panic attack. All right, take care, man. But just because like it was very like I didn't realize how overwhelming VR is. Like it's something I'd love to get more into, just for the fact of, okay, like it could replace a TV or stuff like that and just be a really big like area. But yeah, no, I just never got into it yet. Do you have a chicken? I do not have a chicken. No. Okay. And I'm just about to hop off live myself, because that was the last knife I needed to sharpen. Now I'm going to go test them and see what I think of them. I'd like to give them a light wipe down. And Chris, if you're still watching, one of the best things that I have too. Oh, it's an Altoids tin, but it's a small Altoids tin. It's from Tenkara, and I cut up a microfiber rag and put frog lube, which is just a CLP, on the rag so that I could wipe down any knife that I'm using. And it worked really good for making sure like your knives are clean. You've got all like I'll wipe it down, and it gets all the excess like honing component that comes off of it. But let's see. You can see that the edge looks clean now, as opposed to having uh just stuff all over it. Master kits. Coming from a TS Prof Master kit set up to the Torma for variety. I don't have any experience with the TS Prof. I've heard of it, but I haven't. I'll do a little bit of looking and see what I think. I have my original system. So I sharpened for about, oh god, 10 years on the Edge Pro Apex. Like that was my go-to machine, because like I tried the Work Sharp Ken Onion, didn't really care for it, went right back to my Edge Pro just because it was a very basic system. But in the last few years of actually being in business for myself and finding, okay, hey, this works, this doesn't work, finding the machines that work, like I can do the Ken Onion now because I understand how to actually do it. Oh, that's yeah, the TS Pro. Yeah, so very similar to the Edge Pro Apex, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm 31 in January. And yes, I have been sharpening since I was in high school. Back in high school, I had friends that would come to me and ask because I grew up in Battleground, so a lot of the like farm culture out here, nobody knows how to sharpen their knives or just didn't care to. So they would always like that was a side hustle I did back in high school was sharpening knives for all the farm kids. Yeah, and that's another nice thing. You can use that oil rag on handles, and it really makes it just pop a lot more too. Elementary. Not sure what you mean, but several of my friends that I grew up with, I'm still friends with because I don't have a large group of friends. So I've known one of my friends since I was, I think like 8 or 9 years old. So yeah. But if you're asking if I have any friends in elementary school, no, I don't have any friends in elementary school. That's weird. Okay. Got that one wiped down. Hey, Chris, if you have any questions, I'm just about to hop off. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask before I hop off. Or if not, just shoot it on one of my more recent videos and I'll make sure to get to it pretty quick. I can and can't tell you. This is a really fun. It's the Cold Steel Burden game. Ever since I did one for a client, this has been one of my favorite knives. Yeah, of course. I hope to plan on doing this like once a week just to see, like, getting more in front of the community as well. So I appreciate you saying that it was a fun stream and also me like working with my uh, technical issues. Let's put it the GoPro wanting to shut off and that kind of stuff. It's nice actually like having some people that give me good feedback. So thank you very much. Okay. And I think with that, I am just about to sign off. So thank you so much for watching and take care.